What's going on, everybody? Spunky Nice 91 coming, guys, with another video. Coming at you with my week 2 schedule prediction video here. You guys know how I do this. I go over the entire schedule, all the teams that's playing, and I tell you who I think is going to win. I say the Philadelphia Eagles game for last. So I'm going to try and make this a relatively quick video. Just get through these picks. So with that said, let me get started. Starting off with the Thursday game, which is tomorrow, September the 12th, 8:20 p.m. Eastern. You got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to Carolina, Charlotte, to take on the Carolina Panthers. The Buccaneers lost last week against the San Francisco 49ers. The Carolina Panthers lost a close game against the Los Angeles Rams last week. This game is being played in Charlotte, so I got the Panthers beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. Moving on to the Sunday games here. The Sunday games, September the 15th. Starting off with the 1 o'clock games here. You have the Arizona Cardinals traveling to Baltimore to take on the Baltimore Ravens. The Arizona Cardinals tied in their game last week with Detroit Lions. The Baltimore Ravens just absolutely, dominated, just destroyed the Miami Dolphins. Games being played in Baltimore, and I got the Baltimore Ravens winning that game. Moving on to the next game, you have the Los Angeles Chargers traveling to Detroit to take on the Detroit Lions. 1 p.m. game here. The Los Angeles Chargers won their game against the Indianapolis Colts last week. The Detroit Lions tied with the Arizona Cardinals last week. This game's being played in Detroit, but I got the Los Angeles Chargers going to Detroit and beating the Detroit Lions. Moving on to the next game, you got the Indianapolis Colts traveling to Tennessee to take on the Tennessee Titans. The Colts lost a very close game to the Los Angeles Chargers, and the Titans just absolutely dominated the Browns in their game last week. This game's being played in Tennessee, and I'm going with the Colts. I got the Colts going to Tennessee and beating the Tennessee Titans. Moving on to the next game, you got the San Francisco 49ers traveling to traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. The San Francisco 49ers last week, they beat the Bucs. They beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Cincinnati Bengals lost a close game in Seattle against the Seahawks. This game's being played in Cincinnati, but I got the 49ers going to Cincinnati and beating the Cincinnati Bengals. Moving on to the next game, you got the Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to Houston to take on the Houston Texans. AFC South rivalry game here. The Jacksonville Jaguars lost to the Chiefs. They lost their quarterback, Nick Foles, as well. The Houston Texans lost a very exciting game against the New Orleans Saints on Monday Night Football. No Nick Foles for the Jaguars, so this is not a hard decision for me to make. I got the I got the Houston Texans beating the Jacksonville Jaguars in Houston. Moving on to the next game, the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Green Bay to take on the Green Bay Packers. The Vikings were victorious in their game against the Atlanta Falcons. The Green Bay Packers were victorious in the kickoff game against the Chicago Bears. This game's being played at Lambeau Field. I would like to pick the Falcons to win. I would like to pick the Packers to win this game, but my gut feelings tell me that Minnesota's going to win this game. So I got the Minnesota Vikings beating the Green Bay Packers. Moving on to the next game, you got the Dallas Cowboys traveling to Washington to take on the Washington Redskins. The Dallas Cowboys were victorious in their game last week against the New York Giants. The Washington Redskins lost to my Philadelphia Eagles last week. I have the Dallas Cowboys going to Washington and beating the Washington Redskins. Moving on to the next game, you got the Seattle Seahawks traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Seattle Seahawks won their home game last week against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Pittsburgh Steelers were beaten pretty handily by the New England Patriots. This game's being played in Pittsburgh, but I got the Seahawks going to Pittsburgh and beating the Steelers. Moving on to the next game, you got the Buffalo Bills traveling to MetLife to take on the New York Giants. The Bills were victorious against their AFC East rival, the New York Jets, last week. The New York Giants lost their game against the Dallas Cowboys last week. This game's being played at MetLife, but I got the Buffalo Bills victorious in this game against the New York Giants. Moving on to the next game here, the New England Patriots traveling to Miami to take on the Miami Dolphins. The New England Patriots beat the Pittsburgh Steelers last week in a blowout. The Miami Dolphins were blown out by the Baltimore Ravens last week. Not a hard decision for me to make. The Dolphins are just a mess right now. The Patriots go to Miami and win this game easily. Okay, moving on to the 4 o'clock games. You got the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Oakland to take on the Oakland Raiders. Game is being played in Oakland. The Chiefs were victorious against the Jacksonville Jaguars last week, while on Monday Night Football, the Oakland Raiders were victorious against the Denver Broncos. This game's being played at Oakland, but I got the Chiefs going to Oakland and beating the Oakland Raiders. Moving on to the next game, 4:25 p.m. New Orleans Saints traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Los Angeles Rams. This right here could be the game of the week. I think this could be a very good game here. The Saints were victorious against the Houston Texans. The Rams were victorious against the Carolina Panthers. This right here is a rematch of the NFC Championship game last year. A lot of controversy in that game there. It's being played in Los Angeles, but I got the Saints winning this game against the Rams. Moving on to the next game, 4:25 p.m. Eastern. You got Chicago Bears traveling to Denver to take on the Denver Broncos. Bears lost to the Green Bay Packers last week. The Denver Broncos lost to the Oakland Raiders. This game is being played in Denver, but I got the Bears getting their first win of the season against the Broncos. I'm going to skip past the Sunday night game because that's the Eagles game. Go over to the Monday night game here. You got the Cleveland Browns traveling to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Jets. Taking on the New York Jets Monday on September the 16th. The Cleveland Browns lost pretty bad to the Tennessee Titans last week. The New York Jets lost to the Buffalo Bills last week. This game here could go either way, but I'm going to go with the New York Jets winning at home against the Cleveland Browns. Now, moving back up to my team's game, the Philadelphia Eagles, Sunday Night Football, 8:20 p.m. Eastern. My Philadelphia Eagles were victorious against the Redskins. Their opponent for this week, the Atlanta Falcons, lost against the Minnesota Vikings last week. This game's being played in Atlanta, but I got my Philadelphia Eagles, of course, beating the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday Night Football, primetime football. So let me go back over my my predictions here again. I got the Panthers victorious against the Buccaneers. I got the Baltimore Ravens victorious against the Arizona Cardinals. I have the Chargers victorious against the Detroit Lions. I got the Colts victorious against the Tennessee Titans. I got the 49ers victorious against the Cincinnati Bengals. I got the Texans victorious against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I got the Minnesota Vikings victorious against the Green Bay Packers. I got the Dallas Cowboys victorious against the Washington Redskins. I got the Seattle Seahawks victorious against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I got the Buffalo Bills victorious against the New York Giants. I got the New England Patriots victorious against the Miami Dolphins. I got the Kansas City Chiefs. I had them victorious against the Oakland Raiders. The New Orleans Saints victorious against the Los Angeles Rams. The Chicago Bears victorious against the Denver Broncos. The New York Jets victorious against the Cleveland Browns. And I have the Philadelphia Eagles, my Philadelphia Eagles victorious against the Atlanta Falcons. So there you have it. There's my schedule predictions for week 2. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you want to post your prediction in there, your picks in there, go ahead and post them. I definitely do read those comments. But as always, go Birds. Let's get this win against the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday and go 2-0. I have my Eagles and Falcons preview video out either tomorrow or on Friday. It'll be out very shortly. But like I said, as always, go Birds. Let's go to Atlanta, get this victory. Fly, Eagle, fly. Peace.